The family of a black man who was found dead in Mississippi after he warned his mother that he was being chased by white men hurling racial slurs demanded a federal investigation Monday after local authorities said they had no reason to suspect foul play in the man's death. That man, ladies and gentlemen, Rasheem Carter, 25, was reported missing October 2nd of 2022 after his mother Tiffany Carter said he had sought help from police and frantically called her to say white men in 3 trucks were pursuing him. That was the last day Carter's family heard from him.
We're calling for the Department of Justice to open an investigation as to what happened to Rasheem Carter.
Before we get into the video, do us a favor and smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. Rasheem Carter, we pulled all the information from all sources and made it into one video that's digestible. Let's talk about it.
It's a matter of opinion. If I'm right, I'm leaving no for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on autopsy.
Rasheem Carter, 25 years old, of Fayette, Mississippi, is described by his family as an intelligent, hardworking, and giving young man and father of a 7-year-old daughter. Tiffany Carter, his mother, said he loved to cook and owned a seafood restaurant in Fayette, Mississippi. He was saving money to reopen his seafood restaurant, which closed during the pandemic, which was named after his 7-year-old daughter, Callie. He also loved sports, dancing, and seeing other people succeed in life. In late September of 2020, Carter traveled more than 2 hours east from Fayette, Mississippi to Taylorville, Mississippi to work a subcontractor job. That company's name he went to work for is Georgia Pacific. He stayed at a Super 8 motel in the city of Laurel, about a 30-minute drive southeast from Taylorville. While down there, he ran into car trouble and began to carpool with a co-worker to and from work. Carter soon ran into problems with co-workers, including the one he carpooled with, eventually telling him he could no longer ride with him to and from work, according to Carter's family. Before he disappeared, Carter texted his mother with concern, quote, "Me and the owner of this company are not seeing eye to eye, mama. If anything happens to me, he's responsible for it." End quote. On Saturday, October 1st, his co-worker that he carpooled with told him he can ride with him to work, but could not ride back with him. He went to work with him and figured he would either foot it back home or figure it out at the end of the shift. Later that evening, Carter texted his mom that he was being chased by men in trucks who were yelling racial slurs at him, though it's unclear whether this was related to his problems at work. His mother told him to go to the police. There, Carter reportedly asked police officers at the station in Taylorsville for a ride back to Laurel. Both Carter's family and Taylorville Police Chief Gabe Horn said that police denied his request because Laurel was out of their jurisdiction. The police chief then went to say Carter made a report and we asked if he wanted to press charges, but he told them no. Tiffany Carter told reporters, quote, "That Saturday night, we were not aware of where he stayed in Taylorville. We don't know if he stayed in the woods or, we have no idea. The police offered no help to him, literally." End quote. On Sunday morning, Aisha Green, a family friend, said she would drive out to Taylorville to pick up Rasheem and bring him home. And Carter shared his location with his mother to pass along. When Green arrived, however, she could not find him at the gas station or anywhere else in town. From there, Green went to Taylorville police. She was told that Carter had called the police station earlier that morning and said some men were trying to harm him really bad. An officer later found Carter hiding in the bushes behind a gas station in Taylorville before bringing him back to the station where he paced for about an hour on the phone. Carter's family says he was told he would not be able to stay at the police station while he waited for his ride, but Horn, the Taylorville's police chief, gave a different story. Horn reported Rasheem told the officer on duty that night that he and his roommates had a verbal disagreement and he felt threatened, and that was it. Horn also said Rasheem did tell the officer that he had a ride coming, and the officer advised him, "You're more than welcome to stay at the police department." But Rasheem responded saying, "No, sir, I dropped the pin where I want to be picked up," and left. Green bounced back and forth between Laurel and Taylorville over the course of the day before finally filing a missing persons report in Laurel and going home. Several days later, after Taylorville police said they had not located Rasheem, she came back to Taylorville with Rasheem's mother, Tiffany, to continue the search. Video from various businesses show Carter in Taylorville for 14 hours before he disappeared. 1 month later, authorities contact the family about a deer camera photo of someone believed to be Carter walking on a private property outside of Taylorville. The family confirmed it was Carter in the photo. The timestamp was 4:25 p.m. October 2nd. Tiffany Carter said, "By the picture, you could tell he was in distress. He had no shirt on, possibly no shoes, and he carried a log on his shoulder. He looked like someone was after him." His remains were found on private land deep in the woods off Highway 37 South on November 2nd. Smith County Sheriff's Department released a statement on social media that same day that said, "We have no reason to believe foul play was involved, but the case is still under investigation." According to the family, police found a Super 8 hotel key, Carter's wallet, along with his chime card and what appeared to be a cell phone battery, but not his cell phone. The family claims the chime card had been used to withdraw $500 from an ATM on October 4th. However, the sheriff's office has stated they have no record of the transaction. Fast forward to this past Monday, March 13th, 2023. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump stood with Carter's mother, Tiffany, outside of a federal court in Jackson and displayed photos from an independent autopsy, which he said showed that Carter's head had been severed from his body and his spinal cord had been found unattached to the rest of his body. Police agencies, including the Taylorville PD and the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, have largely refused to release records related to Carter's death, saying that the investigation is still ongoing and thus exempt from Mississippi police records law. A Taylorville Police Department employee said that the department wasn't releasing any police reports or anything else during an active investigation.
This was not a natural killing. This was not a natural death. This represents a young man who was killed. His head was severed from his body. His vertebrae, his spinal cord, was in another spot they discovered away from his severed head. They have recently found remains that they believe are also Rasheem Carter at another part of where he went missing. And what that tells us is that this was a nefarious act. This was an evil act. Somebody murdered Rasheem Carter. And so today, we're calling for the Department of Justice to open an investigation as to what happened to Rasheem Carter. Somebody seen what happened to Rasheem. And it doesn't make any sense at all, because the text message that his mother got before he went missing
on October the 1st, my son texted me. This was after him and I had gotten off the phone. He said, "Me and the owner of this company not seeing eye to eye, Mama." His name, which I can't say at this time, but if anything happened to me, he's responsible for it. I'm too smart, Mama. He got these guys wanting to kill me. And that's what he sent to me.
One Mississippi family continues to push for answers after their loved one was found dead in a wooded area of Taylorsville earlier this year.
what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
You can see dozens of protesters gathered here in town today for a march after the death of 25-year-old Rasheem Carter. Carter was reported missing in the fall after he was last seen at a Laurel hotel. He was found dead weeks later. So far, law enforcement officers say there's been no evidence of foul play, but they say the investigation is still ongoing. The FBI and MBI have helped at various points in this ongoing investigation. Tonight at 9 o'clock, we're going to take you to the protest and hear from family members as well as police there.
Now, I'm not a detective or anything. I have a few questions. Number one, why would the police let him walk out of the station and not have a car, like, surveil him just to make sure that he's safe, or put up a stronger argument on why he should stay in the police station? And then the second thing is, after finding these human remains that is confirmed to be Rasheem Carter, why would they come out and say they don't see any foul play? Those are the two questions that I have to ask about this case. It's also being reported that animals and wildlife may have gotten to the body, but to have the body severed, that screams homicide. Even if there was wildlife that may have mutilated the body afterwards, a severed head and body parts scattered around, that means that that was a homicide, and the person that did this or people that did this knew what they were doing. So I hope that they find the culprits. I hope that this family can get justice. And from all the reports, this was a good young man, a man that was contributing to society, a business owner, a father, a smart individual. He wasn't out there poisoning our communities. He wasn't out there shooting people. No, he was an outstanding contributor to society whose life got stolen from him way ahead of his time. And I hope justice is served and the family can get closure for what happened to this young man. My condolences to the family and my condolences to everybody that this gentleman had an impact in their life. And definitely my condolences to that 7-year-old girl who now does not have a father. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I would love to hear your take. Do you think this was foul play, a homicide? Do you think his co-workers might have been responsible? How do you feel about law enforcement coming out and saying they sense no foul play? I would love to hear your take on this matter. If it's your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking that notification bell. Like the video, share the video. If you want to follow us on our other social media platforms, the links are in the description. That's going to do it for this episode of Matter of Opinion. I'm your boy, Walls P, and I'll catch you, ladies and gentlemen, on the next episode. Peace.
It's a matter of opinion.